So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add music to an event. So it's asking us to create a core, and a core can be thought of as a recipe that defines how to get values or music. And yeah, that recipe gets turned into like music uh, and eventually a playlist. So I want to go ahead and create a new one. You can also reuse existing ones, so they'll pop up in the list. And next to you'll see core status here. This will change and update as you fill it out. So eventually that will say complete or valid, letting you know that everything's good to go and it's successfully been added. So the name is mainly so that you can reuse it in different events, but it's not necessary or required. And the description is also for your own purposes, just to help remember what's what what's inside. So at the moment, you don't need to worry about the type of collection. The only one that's available is tracks. So you're going to be making a core that is a collection of tracks or music. And we do that by clicking Add Group. And the part that we're interested in is the selection method. So we can go ahead and click on that, and we have two options available to us. We can either select tracks from a playlist or from an API, and I'll go over both of those. But we'll start with selecting tracks from a playlist. So if we click on that, it'll ask us which service we plan to use. And the only option is Spotify at the moment. And it's going to ask us how we want to import from Spotify. And the only option at the moment is to upload a CSV file. And that might sound a little bit daunting, but it's not too bad. So once you select that, it's going to show you a little bit of some instructions on how to do that. We start by clicking on this link here, which brings up this um, app which we can use to export playlists. And we click on the Get Started button, which is a little bit invisible because it's grey, but yeah, that's the one you want to click on, Get Started. And after agreeing, so I'm already logged in with my Spotify account, but if you weren't, you'd have to, sign in and agree to give the app permission to view your account. Then you select a playlist that you want to export. If none of the playlists that you have are music that you want to add to the event, then you would go to your Spotify account, create a playlist as per usual containing the tracks that you want to add, and then you'd come here, refresh the page, and then you'd click export. For this demo, I'll just click on liked songs, so I want to just export all of my liked songs and add those. So waiting for it to be done here, it says exporting. And we see that like it's downloaded um, to our browser, the CSV file. So if we jump back to zenchor, we can then go to the last step here, upload the exported CSV file and import to your zenchor account via the button above. So just clicking on that button and selecting, and then we just wait for that to upload. And it's completed. So yeah, if we look up, we can see the status of the selection group is showing that that's complete, and the status of the overall core is also complete and valid, meaning that uh, this will now yeah, it's just successfully it was successfully added music to the event. And so this method was by exporting our tracks from Spotify and adding them that way. So the next method that we can use is through um, an API, and the only API that we support at the moment is lastfm, which is a music service that enables you to track which music you listen to, independent of the way that you listen to that music. So if you listen on Spotify or if you listen using another music player, you can set it up such that it will communicate with Last.fm and track your music listening history. And they enable us to query and ask for your recently played songs. So I believe, yeah, that returns the last 50 tracks that you've recently listened to. Or we can ask it to give us your top tracks, which requires a time range. So you can say, okay, give me what are my top tracks over the last 3 months, and both of those methods require you to put in a username, your last.fm username, and you can just to make sure you haven't made any typos or anything, you can verify that. And supposing that's actually a real username, that's surprising. That one is not. So it'll let you know, okay, like there's um, you've typed in the right username. And if you've done that, it'll also say, the selection group will say complete. You've entered in all the information that you require. The other options you have with the last.fm is to import tracks based on top tracks by country. So that asks you which country. So if you're interested in adding top tracks of a certain, let's say Australia or whatever, Brazil, Germany, you can do that. Or you could just say, give me all the top tracks on Last.fm at the moment. So those are other ways of selecting music. Yeah, note at the moment we don't have our own sort of music selector or way to create and select music from within the app. You either have to do it from, yeah, Spotify or using Last.fm API. Those are the only two methods we have at the moment. So after doing that, uh, it shows us now on the event detail page that we've added a contribution, and it's also going to show us on the event list that we've now added music. So we don't need to worry about that. That's been done. We can forget about it. We can, yeah, edit that if we'd like at a later date. Up to us.